The thumbnail says, obviously, MAGA is dead and a question mark. MAGA is dead. I don't think so. I don't think any of you think that. But somebody does. So let's listen into some insanity here.
This election itself, was it another part of the humiliation ritual? Was it a way of saying to the rest of us, people who sort of believed in democracy, it's all fake? We can get a guy whose last name we can't pronounce elected on a platform everybody in America hates because we can. Because we're billionaires and you're not.
You know, every day I have to watch this boob tube, this news, to try and put stories together for you. Every day I have to scroll X, and occasionally that kind of stuff shows up. I don't know what got in the water, wherever Tucker drinks his water. I don't know what happened to him. I'm not going to make any accusations of him getting paid by somebody, but something definitely happened. Something completely turned him around. Every time I turn on the television or scroll on X, what do you see? Same thing I do. The same so-called bunch of experts, podcasters, influencers, as they may be. A bunch of never Trump holdouts, a bunch of washed up commentators who are making a lot of money, all saying the same thing. If you notice what they talk about, they keep saying that MAGA is dead. I don't believe that. I don't think you believe that. I don't think anybody off of X believes that. I think they're doing everything they possibly can to make you think that MAGA is dead. It's not going to work on you, hopefully. I don't think it's working on many people. I think the people who want to see MAGA dead, it only works on them. They're saying it with a straight face, looking right into a camera, like they've just discovered the secret to the universe. It's bullcrap. It's total bullcrap. The absurdity of these morons saying MAGA is dead is almost too much to bear, as you just saw this past Tuesday. But today we're going to shred this nonsense like a Chinese spy balloon or my lawn guys cutting up the grass. We're going to just completely dispel with all this crazy stuff, because obviously MAGA has indeed spoken. And MAGA spoke loud and clear. They don't have to be on X. They don't have to be clicking a like button. They don't have to be getting views. I think normal people who aren't on X understand what's going on at this point. This is a lab. It's a petri dish. It is some kind of foreign entity that are doing all these crazy things. Between saying it's the billionaires and the Jews and everything else, they have decided that MAGA is their enemy, which should tell you everything about them. Their message is simple, it's clear, they hate you. And at this point, the other side that's clear is that Trump's endorsement is still the most powerful force in American politics, bar none, and they can't do anything about it. Nothing else even comes close. Maybe that's what they're pissed off. Maybe because they thought they had real influence. Maybe they thought because they had millions of followers that these followers were going to hang on their every word, not realizing we didn't vote for Tucker Carlson. We didn't vote for Alex Jones. We didn't vote for Candace Owens. We didn't vote for any of that. All we see is people with millions of followers, and we don't know who those followers are, by the way. They could be from anywhere. X doesn't say where the followers are from unless you want to look at every single person who likes every single video. But they found out on Tuesday that X isn't real life. And I think it shook them to the core, and I think it's going to make them even more pissed off and even more spouting crazy rhetoric. You know by this time, and we can start with the facts, because facts are the enemy of these delusional narratives. Thomas Massie, the so-called libertarian lone wolf up in Kentucky, the one who couldn't stop voting against Trump's MAGA agenda, he just got fired. He just got shown the curb. Do you notice what's common with all these people? The very, very same thing that Thomas Massey just experienced, every single one of them have experienced. That commonality, I think, breeds their insanity. When they realize they've been shunned by Trump, when they realize they've been shunned by MAGA. MAGA doesn't want to hear from Alex Jones. MAGA is now pushing Tucker Carlson away. MAGA doesn't want to hear what Candace Owens has to say. And now we know on Tuesday, MAGA doesn't want to know what Thomas Massey has to say. Now they're out there saying, oh, it was stolen and all kinds of crazy stuff out there because they can't believe that their influence wasn't accepted, wasn't enough. It failed. You tried to take on Trump. That's your problem. You didn't take on me. You didn't take on SV. You didn't take on some other smaller people. You took a swing at the king. And the whole saying goes, if you take a shot at the king, you better not miss. And so you've got your little empires of dust that each one of you have built somehow, and you're holding on to that with dear life because now you're on an island. All of us can look at you and go, nope, not with you. Don't want to hear it. Cry all you want.
And of course our priorities are not aligned with yours. In fact, we hate your priorities and we hate you. We're going to do this anyway. Even in Kentucky, we can do it. It's possible that's the message they were sending. Pretty certain, actually. So on one level, this is the saddest moment in a long time.
Trump went 37-0. He destroyed every candidate that went up against him. Every single person, not one or two, every single person he endorsed won. How in the hell is that a sad moment? You have to be really full of yourself to believe what we just saw on Tuesday is a sad moment. The only reason it could be sad is because you realize now what is actually happening. There's no newscast, there's no poll, there's no influencer who's going to be able to convince people who are for Trump to go against Trump. There's my lawn guys. And now, boom, Massey is gone. Just like that. Was it a surprise? Not to any real MAGA patriots, because when President Trump says, I want this guy, or this guy is not with us, his base listens. The base that they've tried to attack, the base that they've tried to diminish, the base that they've tried to say MAGA is dead, the base reacted. The base voted. And speaking of banishments, what about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Her influence, done. Done. She's got nothing that she can offer. And now this champion of the woke mob, well, let's see what he says.
Not just the death of Thomas Massey's immediate political career, which may be resurrected, one never knows. It's obviously the death of MAGA, whatever that.
It's the death of MAGA. Oh, now understand what he just said. MAGA won. However, because they voted against Massey, it's the death of MAGA. Whatever that is, he says. Man who stood on stage multiple times getting applause from MAGA now doesn't seem to even know what it is. That's how far gone he is at this point. I don't even know what that is. Here, let me let you hear that again as he says it quite clearly, whatever this MAGA thing is.
It's obviously the death of MAGA, whatever that was.
Was. What do you mean? This isn't some past tense. We are still here. Everybody watching, everybody not watching, who subscribes, who follows, who votes for Trump, they didn't go anywhere. You guys did. The circus of harpies is what I think they are, where logic goes to die. They thought they could neuter all of MAGA. They thought that they had the power, that they could make MAGA irrelevant. But here's the thing. They don't understand, obviously, what MAGA is. They want to keep looking away from it. They think the woke right was some sort of cool kids club. Whatever you want to call it, woke right. the crazy podcastisans, the grifters, the groypers. I don't know what term you want to use, but they're fake. That's the term I want to use, fake. They are making money. They're making money on clicks. They're making money on likes, and they're making money on their own aura. They think they're more important than you. That's their biggest mistake. You know, people, even like me, make podcasts, talk to people. Yes, we do profit. Yes, we do make money. We have sponsors. But I never want to get to a position anywhere while doing this that I feel I am bigger than President Trump. Because I know if I ever feel like I'm bigger than President Trump, I've ended my career. Well, I wouldn't call it a career. My podcast. You can't pretend to be America first while stabbing the Trump agenda in the back and MAGA in the back. These people are the ones who are officially dead. They're dead, they're buried, and they may not act like it, but they're walking zombies at this point. It was cute. It was cute while it lasted. You could trash Trump. You could trash Erica Kirk. You could trash J.D. Vance. You can trash MAGA. And all you guys got together and you decided that we were stupid, ignorant, a cult. And then somebody that you latched onto. You latched onto Thomas Massie and he was going to be the cult killer. And you really thought that was going to be a race to define the midterms. I can't even tell you what would have happened on Wednesday if Thomas Massie had won that race. Every single newscast would have been just like the people on the right. They would have been trashing Trump. He's got no more power. It's over. MAGA is dead. But now he says it's dead anyway. How the hell can that be?
It's also, of course, the end of the Republican Party, as we thought we knew it. The Republican Party of right now bears absolutely no resemblance to the Republican Party we thought we had just elected less than a year and a half ago. None at all.
Who's we? See, that's the problem. That's what these snakes were doing. These snakes were hoping they could turn Donald Trump into the type of Republican they're used to. They were hoping, yeah, we'll get him elected and we'll put him back in the box like we did in his first term. That's what they thought they were going to do. That's why they're all freaking out. He's right about one thing. This isn't the same Republican Party. I don't know why we still call ourselves Republican. I guess because President Trump, you know, his party is right now the Republican, but we're not Republicans anymore. I'm thankful that he said that. I want to distance myself from those kinds of Republicans. We're MAGA. We're not dead. You're dead. You don't even have anybody on the horizon. There's nobody on your bench. There's nothing there, Tucker. You guys complained for all this period of time, got in line, put your hat behind Thomas Massie, pushed all in with your poker chips, and now you got nothing. You're on an island. Democrats don't want you, and so-called Republicans don't want you. I don't even know who's watching your shit at this point. The anger that's emanating from these people. I saw another guy today, and I couldn't play the video. I showed Ashley, and literally every third word was F them, F this, F. And I'm like, who is listening to this gibberish? They're spitting mad, and they're not coming back. But now we can shun them. Thank you for showing us who you are. We now know that somebody somehow is paying you something to try and destroy MAGA to the point where now, today, you want to declare it dead.
Its parties are completely different. Its slogans are completely different. It is not the same thing. And maybe there's a working majority somewhere of people who support the new priorities of the Republican Party, but the question would be, where is that?
What are the new priorities of the Republican Party? I have broken down for you on numerous times the pledges that President Trump has made before he ran. And we've gone through which ones he's done, which ones he's working on. Where is this disconnect? There was never anything in his campaign agenda that mentioned anything about Epstein. There is nothing out there in regards to how Epstein affects everyday people. Yes, we want to see these men. I have to bite my tongue. I'd love to see him strung up. But wasn't the guy that you were backing said that he was going to go on the floor and read the names? That he had so many different things? My gosh, he was in a lockstep campaign and he didn't do anything. Nancy Mace, who we've had on the show many times, I'm going to name names. She even did a few that were in like the slush fund. Nothing happened. Nothing. Nobody cares. Doesn't mean I'm sticking up for Speedos. I'm just telling you, in the grand scheme of things, you now know this Tuesday, put an exclamation point on it. Nobody cares. They care about their family. They care about their country. They care about their well-being. They want cheaper gas. They want cheaper groceries. They want safety. They want these people out of our country. Epstein's way down here, and you hung your hat that was a major issue. What else did he supposedly do? Oh, he said no more wars. If you realize how absurd that statement is, how they took it, you would understand that for 16 days? There's been no war. Nothing has happened. Got in, shut it down, and now we're waiting to see what happens, but there has been no war. It's insane to me how these people are trying to twist this as though there's, people on the front line shooting at each other. Anybody know when the last bomb hit? Anybody want to go look up and see how long it's been that President Trump has been allowing these people? You got to come up with a deal. He keeps saying, you got to come up with a deal. You're going to show you a video in a little bit. He says it again. You got to come up with a deal. We don't want to hear this crap you've been saying. But as of today at 4:26, he has not dropped any more bombs. So what are you complaining about? Oh, what's this thing in Cuba? He's looking to take over Cuba. He didn't even stutter with that. He told you about the Monroe Doctrine turning into the Donroe Doctrine. Did anybody complain then when he said the Western Hemisphere is going to be for the United States? I don't even know what these people want anymore. I don't think they know.
Haaretz readers clearly do. They think that was the most important race in America. Amazing that they were following it. But in this country, nobody supports this. Nobody does.
One of the things I learned when I started making these things is people would tell me, I would talk to different kind of speakers, and they would tell me, never use, which is a superlative, never use superlatives. Don't say everybody, because it's not true. You don't have that kind of power, Tucker. You don't have the ability to measure that, to say everybody, nobody. You don't know. We have a border to secure. We have an economy to rebuild. We have a deep state, wink, wink, Tucker, to dismantle. And we don't have time for these armchair quarterbacks who think because they've got big followings that they are bigger than the president of the United States. They will have to live with that themselves. They can now whine from the sidelines. They can still put out videos. They can say whatever they want. But as they're doing it, everybody now looks, you're just a side accident along the road. Accidents get many views. They even created a term called rubbernecking because people always, when you're driving, they always look. Everybody always looks at the accident. Really bad accidents make it on TV, and we look at the accident. Oh, that's awful. But nobody is going to make any decisions about their lives based upon you accidents on the side of the road. You'll get your views, you'll get your clicks, you'll get your money, but you're not getting our votes. I think Tuesday night proved it to them, and that's why they're freaking out. Some of us watch your videos for fun. Some of us watch your videos because we'll critique them and react to them. But don't for an instant at this point think anymore that you control people's votes. You have that influence has been taken away from you, and everybody can see it. And at this point, too bad. You made your bed, you lie in it. You made a bunch of money. Most of them have probably made millions. You can ride off into the sunset. Cue the cowboy scene of you riding off, but you won't do it because you're just, there's something inside of you that thinks we can still make a difference. And you can't. Now you're just that accident on the side of the road that we look at and go, oh, here, Alex is saying something crazy again. Oh, they stole the election. Good luck with that. You're not in any position to try and make anything different happen. You can't even start an investigation. You don't know anybody in Congress who's going to even take your call anymore. It's over for these people, and Trump is still standing. And if Trump is still standing, you're damn right MAGA is still standing. Straight up. So, bye. I'm done with these people.